Look at us. We look like the Addams family. Da 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 da. You ready? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. He's spooky and he's creepy. He's Philippine and goofy. He is the man. This is George in the Philippines. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. He's spooky and he's spooky. I'm freaky and I'm geeky. We're happy to see you, the Philippine Antics family. And that might actually work as a theme song.
Out where time seems to fade, where your maps are no good, trade your money for rest. Learn to...
Hi, this is Heidi with Philippine Antics, and there's George, still not as awake as normal. We are waiting for Michael Onstad. He has a Facebook group that talks about insurance. Check down inside the link. We'll have all of his information, how to contact him. He's been on several channels. He's been on Rike, That Philippines Life, Mike's Philippine Retirement. There's been a lot of channels that he's been on, and he's been doing it for a while. So, guys, today we have Michael Onstad. Go ahead, Michael, and introduce yourself. And how long have you been doing insurance in the Philippines?
Well, I go way back from Canada. I started when I was 20 years old, so I'm a 44-year veteran. Wow. But I've only been in the Philippines for 5 years and got licensed here about 3 years ago.
Wow. Okay. And also, what is the name of your Facebook group? We know it, but we refer people to you and send the links and everything.
Yeah.
And
very easy to remember. Very easy to remember. And that's marketing number one. Keep things simple.
Right.
Health insurance in the Philippines.
Okay. And like I said, we put links. We did an intro before you came on to tell people to go inside and look at your links and everything. You've been on a lot of YouTube channels. We mentioned that Rike's, That Philippine Life, Mike's Philippine Retirement, and a bunch of others. And on a daily basis, we receive emails where people's like, where should I get my insurance? Will it cover and all that? And of course, we don't always have those answers. So we tell them to go to your Facebook page and, we send them the information. Tell us about the different types of insurance that you offer and which one covers best here in the Philippines.
Well, there's two basic types, and it's for two different types of expats. The ones that are generally broke and living on a pension. Right. And then there's the well-heeled expat that can afford a deductible and a higher premium. Right. The PHILIP plan is good for people under the age of 65. At the highest age limit, you're looking at about 1,600 pesos a year, which is manageable by most. Mm-hmm. And the US dollar plan, it starts at about at the age of 65, it's runs about $1,600 US with a $2,500 deductible. Mm-hmm. And that the PHILIP plan has a 1.5 million benefit limit maximum, and the US dollar plan is a whole different category. It starts at $500,000 US. Mm-hmm. So it's for the expat that wants to go to St. Luke's and get his cancer treated on the first class basis.
Right.
Or a serious heart attack or stroke. A provincial hospital is generally a death sentence when it comes to serious health events.
Yes.
It'll suffice for maintenance, but I wouldn't rely on them for open heart surgery.
Right. That was part of what I had here is the US dollar plan versus the peso plan. What does that really cover on either of those plans? Does it do doctor's appointments? Is it only emergencies or?
I stick to only emergency. The reason being is that doctor's visits are not expensive.
Right.
And to add the outpatient benefit, it doesn't make sense to me. But, to each his own. If you want to have it, I've got it. I just don't recommend it.
Right. There's a lot of people that do come here, like you said, on pensions, and they are also self-paid and rely on Medicare, which is pretty much where we are, as we have so much in savings and we rely on insurance. We have a couple plans in the United States. What about the reimbursement? All right.
Well, just now that you've touched on Medicare, you realize it doesn't cover you here.
Right. You talk,
Right.
yeah, here in the Philippines.
So you have to get back home.
Correct. Yes.
Now, the problem with that, of course, is in a real medical emergency, they're not going to let you on an airplane for 6 months. That's the general rule of thumb. So, you've got to somehow gap that 6-month period. What I recommend for someone like that is that they have a basic plan that'll at least put them back together well enough to get on the airplane.
Yeah, that would make sense, because there's a lot of our followers are on Social Security, or they're on the pensions that are dealing with the military, which some of them have that other insurance plan. So, okay, well, that's good information to know. So that's something I did not know. Yeah. So now, what about Pacific Cross and other insurances if you're already with a pre-existing condition? Because a lot of people, of course, over 50, 55 already have medical issues.
Yeah. Let me understand your question. So you're talking about people that already have a plan.
People who are already sick, pre-existing, medical issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. How does that work?
It's a matter of seeing what the underwriter comes back with, honestly. I'm done with guessing.
Okay.
It seems to, whichever underwriter happens to get the file, if that's what you get. But generally speaking, the first 12 months is out. Pre-existing conditions are not covered in the first 12 months.
Okay.
Okay. And at renewal, after 12 months, they're going to ask for an extra premium, and they're going to limit your benefit. On occasion, they're going to permanently exclude the pre-existing condition if it's severe.
Okay. Your questions? Surely there's some in your head.
Okay. Why is Pacific Cross, you think, is one of the better insurance out there?
Well, when I was looking at getting into the business, I looked at all of them, and Pacific Cross checked most of the boxes. But more important than that, over the 3 years, I've got to know the management, and believe me, nothing goes smoothly in the Philippines. It needs a certain level of management, and you've got to fill in the service void. And I've got that relationship now, so a few dollars here or there, it's well worth it dealing with Pacific Cross and myself. That's just my approach.
Okay. So now the question would be, since most expats travel back and forth between countries, so let's say you have a coverage with Pacific Cross, for example, what would happen if he goes to the US and has a problem there?
Or Thailand or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, of course, the PHIL plan will cover you for 30-day trips. Okay. Unlimited 30-day trips for emergency care. Okay, not for treatment. Okay, you're going to have to come back to the Philippines for treatment. Okay. But emergency care is covered for 30 days. The US dollar plan will cover you for 90 days, not for 90-day trips. So that's the main difference. Now, most expats opt to exclude the US, which saves them 25% on their premium. Okay. But if they really want to go back to the States to be treated, we can arrange for that. But it's an extra 50%.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, let me back up on that. It's an extra 50% for year-round coverage. It's you lose the 25% discount if you opt to go to the US for treatment. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges? Is there any challenges to getting the insurance, or I'm trying to think of how to ask. I know some people put off insurance for a few reasons. Like us, we're kind of like, we're still in our early 50s. Like me, I'm just 50 and George is 48. And there's a lot of people that put it off. So I'm sure you run into a lot of them that wait till the last minute, and then they run into that emergency. Like we just seen that British guy that was in the hospital and he was laid out due to diabetes. So, and I don't know whatever happened to him, but do a lot of people tend to delay that long?
Unfortunately, yes, and you see them on GoFundMe quite a bit.
Yeah, that's when I left the U.S., I knew that it would be like, I told George, I call it the wild, wild west. So we lived in Mexico for 6 months, and then we've been here for 2 years. George is from the Philippines. He lived in the U.S. for a little bit, And so I pretty much accepted that. I'm not sure how much treatment I would get after I left. So I do like maintenance medicine, which is really important. But we self-pay because it's just small appointments, blood here and there, and keep an eye on it. But definitely the insurance, we're well aware, is very important. It's very, very important.
So most of our viewers, or most people in general, they kind of like delay getting insurance because they're kind of like, oh, it's probably going to be difficult. Is it?
Yeah, is it?
No, it's not difficult, but the offers are difficult if they have pre-existing conditions. I mean, that's the catch-22. You're supposed to get it before your body starts to show the signs of aging. That's the key.
And that's something that people don't think about. So that's another thing that I think a few of the people are putting off, because again, most of them coming here do have pre-existing medical issues. So we sit down and we talk to people, and when they tell us, we've heard some people totally laid out. I'm in a wheelchair. I've got, severe blood pressure. I've got diabetes, and they list 5 or 6 major issues. And they're like, oh, well, I need a CPAP machine at night. I'm like, oh, dude, it is better to stay in the U.S. at that point with people.
Yeah, no, there's a point where self-funding is the only option. Yeah. And if you can't self-fund, don't come.
Yeah. We've seen Paul. We like Paul, Old Dog, New Tricks. He had that young blind guy that had come on there. I think he was under 30 or about 30. He had everything.
And he fell down some stairs?
No, that was Sebastian. That was on Every Man Has a Story. We watch him do. No, it was the other gentleman that's legally blind, but I guess I say legally blind because he can still see. He's a painter and he goes out and vlog and he does a couple things. But my concern was he had like Crohn's disease and he had a few others. Supposedly he needs an injection every month. Do you know anything about the legality of mailing medications over here?
No.
Okay, I thought I'd read that it is against the law to actually put prescription.
That would be my guess. Yeah,
correct.
I get a lot of questions about OxyContin, and it's almost impossible to find.
That's what I was going to ask next. Is like certain medications in the Philippines is just absolutely off, if you can even find it. Like we're here in Angel City, Mablacat, and no matter what pharmacies, the big ones or little ones, we get about a week's worth of medication. So there's a lot of expats here and people getting medicine. So it's kind of like pill at a pill. But yes, pain pills, psych meds, any of those are just absolutely off. I call it off the chain, off the chart, all that, because you usually have to go into a major hospital or somewhere to get these types of meds. So like, can I get this, and that? But we are able to, what is the one med that I use? What is the pill you just got the other day? Yeah, so Tramadol is legal in Mexico and here. Like they just do it over the counter. In the U.S., of course, it requires a prescription. So I take that every now and then. I got, I do have pre-existing medical, so that kind of keeps me from going into the insurance because we both have high blood pressure. I have lupus. I have bad knees. I have clubfoot. Legs turn in really bad. So, and then I am overweight. So all of these things would probably cause an issue with being able to get the insurance. But pain meds, you have to kind of stick.
No, you'll get the insurance, but you're basically going to have an accident policy.
Yeah. Babe, you can't stop this train.
No,
you thinking about that train? George is thinking.
No. You mentioned accident policy. So is that like what do you call it? An add-on to the current insurance?
No, the accident, the insurance policy covers accidents day one.
Okay.
Right. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a basic cover.
But you can add an accidental death benefit if it's something you like.
Oh. Hey.
What do you worry about? You going first. That's why we have your funeral fund. It's true story. It's kind of like we, usually, actually in my family, it tends to be, the men pass away sooner. That's just it's a given here. Usually I don't. And George says you're going to live like 20 years after me. So are there specific hours that are better to reach you at? How about that? Are there better times to?
No, I'm on my phone all the time. So, but no 2 a.m. calls from the States, please.
Right.
Oh, right. That's right.
People forget that we get some crazy stuff.
3 o'clock in the morning. That's right. We do get phone calls at 3 a.m.
All right, Michael. Well, we do appreciate you being here. We'll get your information out. Like I said, we've been referring people. We've been here for 2 years, and it's always Michael. So we do appreciate it.
Something I'm going to mention. I have a managing partner, and she's an RN. She's worked in the hospital industry here for 5 years, and she's now running my office. But what's come out of it is when clients check into a hospital, it's never easy. It's always there's something missing, or they need something else. But she helps. She deals with the hospital, gets it all done, makes the experience just that much better.
Yeah.
And that's sort of come out of it.
Yeah, that's really good to know. We've told people that if you go out and about, we tell them to keep copies of their passport. Don't take your passport, and have your medical written down. If you're diabetic, down to their blood work, have it laminated, because they laminate everywhere in this town. We carry a card because George goes out a lot by himself. I rarely go out unless I'm with him, but a lot of expats, things happen, accidents, heart attacks, different things happen to people, and they're not prepared. So we always say, keep your medical card together and possibly as much information and phone numbers as possible. And so that's really great that she helps out and everything.
Yeah. Well, in the US, they sell dog tags for you to wear.
Oh, I think they got them here too. Yeah. You can find just about everything here. I'm just going to put that laminated card around your neck like a school kid.
And my partner is fluent in Tagalog, so that helps too.
Oh, there you go.
That's George right. Isn't. You're just Captain Tongan. I think you got a lot.
George's English is amazing. You've been living in the States obviously for a few years.
Yeah, I've been there for a while.
Yeah, so he was born and raised in Angel City, went to college here. He even had kids, so he was in a full relationship and an adult when he left. And you went there 20-something years.
Yeah.
So so he lived in California and Florida. So, but he's always had no accent. He's got like 3 or 4 of his friends. They sound American. He's even fooled when the military base was open. They used to think he was just a military kid because he had no accent. So, but yeah, it is amazing. So I tell George, he gets me skin tax when we go to the market and everything. So when they hear him speak, he speaks along with me. They're like, oh, he's an American. I was like, thanks a lot, George. We just paid 3 times as much.
Right. And to clarify, you not just only cater to expats, you cater to locals as well, right?
Filipinos.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, the expat always has a girlfriend he wants to include, and happy to help. And I do have some local clients. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. And we do have, depending on how we're airing, when we're live, which we do more lives, we have 70%. We have 70% US. So we have a lot of, Westerners. And when we do our videos, another thing, the other percentage is Filipino. So of course, yes, that's good that you mentioned. We get a lot of Filipinos that actually, or they live part-time in and out, 6 months here, 6 months out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and George's brother's a doctor. So right now, when I've had some issues, he would come in and say, okay, this is what you need. And I've been able to get, taken care of. So, I've had a few, I've had only one major medical scare since I've been here, but makes you think, and people should get that taken care of. And a lot of people don't want to think about the end of life, or, that they need the insurance. It's kind of a denial thing. And like George said, as a man, most of them don't even want to take their pills. Like if I didn't set George's pills up, he wouldn't take them. So, people have to take care and get that insurance.
Something I should mention, and it just pops into my mind because it comes up occasionally, but I'll occasionally get a message from an expat's girlfriend, and they occasionally include the picture of the body in the hospital of their passed away boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And they won't release the body until the hospital bill is paid.
Correct.
That's a terrible situation. Anyway.
Yeah. I wanted to say that I agree with you, and we've heard that also. And then also, I guess there was an upset because every man has a story. Mark was like, "Oh, if something happens to me and I pass away in the hospital, just leave my body there and let him do whatever." And I guess he got a big kickback on it. But honestly, a lot of people do that. They tell the girlfriends, "Just leave me there." But yes, they will not release the body. They won't do anything. And it's the same with, if you do pay the bill, there's a lot of processing and certificates for cremation, and it's a big fund to send them back. And when people come here and they're all happy, joy, they don't think about all the other things. And like before I left, I just knew that there was going to be some issues, but I was just excited that we were, on the road and here. And so, but
yeah. I was wondering, I understand it's not part of your field, but do you by chance know what they do with those bodies?
Yeah, what do they do with them afterwards? Do they just cremate them?
I've heard all sorts of different stories, and I don't believe most of them.
I heard there was. It's kind of like the prisoners. There's mass graves or cremation, but we deal with. I call it Clark Medical Center. Is the one that I go to, or we go down to the Angel City Hospital.
But is there basically a time that you're aware of that the hospital's going to hold the body for as long as they could? Like, is there a set time?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I wouldn't rely on the refrigeration units. These brownouts can really be a problem.
Right. That's why George is getting a deep freezer. I mean, is that what I'm getting for Christmas this year?
There you go.
Oh my God. Sicko. All right, Michael, we do appreciate you being here and
Thanks
your
so much.
blessing. And we will send people your way and get them off our backs.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thanks again.
You can contact us anytime.
Yeah. And contact Michael Onstad for all your insurance needs. Just remember, don't call him at 2 a.m. in the morning, U.S. time.
Yeah, best way to get me is directly through my personal Facebook account and use Messenger. That's the easiest.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. By the way, my office is actually in the medical city.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
But I only go there once a month.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. So do you just come over, or you actually live in this area? I didn't ask.
No, I live in La Union, small town by the name of Erangay. It's about 2.5 hours north of you.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh,
But I do get down there occasionally. I'll send you a message.
sure. We have to get together and everything, so that would be great.
Okay. How's the infrastructure now in La Union? Like, as far as electricity, power outages, stuff like that, internet?
The internet's not bad, but we get a brownout every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, okay. No, La Union's a beautiful place, isn't it? Right, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I'm here because my wife's family's here. To be honest, but San Juan's a nice spot, and I travel a lot. I do meet and greets all throughout the Philippines.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Take care, Mike.
Have a great day.
You too.
You ready? Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da.
So I can swear once in a while?
Yes, you can. I don't give a damn, That's what we do in our lives.
Right.